did. So to close us out, to thank everyone, to do all the cool stuff for the first ever online only event that GitHub has ever done, to close out GitHub Satellite Virtual 2020, please welcome our amazing COO of GitHub, Erica Brescia herself. Welcome to the stage, Erica!
Thank you so much, Michelle and Jared. Oh my gosh, there's been so much fantastic energy today. It just whizzed past. And, you know, I thought I was getting the easiest gig of the day, just talking about all the cool stuff that we saw and everything that we learned. And I'll tell you what, everyone set such a high bar. Now I feel like the pressure is really on. I do have to say, though, I am really bummed that they did not send me a red phone like Nat got. Very disappointed about that. I'm going to have to get somebody to hook me up with one of those. But I can't believe it's been 12 hours since that moment. As I said, an absolutely action-packed day that went by incredibly quickly for me. We started out with some big announcements, discussions, code spaces, advanced security, code scanning and secret scanning, actions and packages on server, insights and private instances. We are so excited to bring all of this to our community. And, you know, as Nat has said, and as I've said before, we have an incredible team here at GitHub, but there's no way that their creativity can match that of the amazing global developer community. So we can't wait to see what you all do with these new features and products. And as we say at GitHub, we ship to learn. So we look forward to getting your feedback on everything that we're releasing and iterating to make sure that we're continuing to provide the best possible home for all developers. And speaking of the developer community, we now have over 50 million developers and 3 million organizations on GitHub. That means that 10 million developers have joined GitHub since last October. Our interconnected community is getting bigger and it's better than ever. And the best thing about that is that we all get to benefit from the growth as existing projects gain more contributors and new ones are launched. And we saw some really exciting statistics that were shared earlier today in the update to the State of the Octaverse report on what's happening in light of COVID and all the folks coming together to work on that. It's just so exciting to think about all the progress that these 50 million developers and counting will make over the course of the next year. But going back to today, we heard from over 50 speakers and performers in 9 countries around the world. And they represent so many cool technologies and projects. We heard about everything from best practices on remote work to seeing a human versus AI rap battle. That was super cool. To checking out live demos. All the demos were live, which is awesome. And everyone did a fantastic job of all of our new products and features. We heard from a student developer at SAP about how they do credential mitigation on over 200,000 repositories. And the amazing live coding performances were super cool. I don't know how they do that. I think I'd feel way too much pressure, but there's clearly so much talent out there. And that's really just scratching the surface. In terms of the stats for today, more than 40,000 people joined in. My mind is still blown by that, from 178 countries. And it's so cool to see how turning Satellite into a remote event, into a digital event, let everybody around the world join us and celebrate and learn together. In light of that, we had over 1,700 comments, actually 1,800. They updated that stat right before I came on, in our new discussions. And it was so cool to see folks coming together and discussing what was being launched and asking questions of the speakers. I hope you'll all try discussions now on your projects. We also had some pets join, and we spotted a few kiddos too. Clearly, future developers start young. I personally loved seeing the ways that people were tuning in to Satellite from all over the world. If you haven't already, check out the GitHub Satellite hashtag on Twitter, because there were a ton of great photos and discussions online, and it was a lot of fun to follow throughout the day. We had so many cool announcements today. I don't think I could ever choose just one, but I do have some favorites, and I'd like to just take a minute to reflect. Nat was almost late to his keynote. Not really. Not sure people really thought that he was late, but it was still cool. And just for the record, we are not sponsored by Cheerios, but Nat is a fan. I loved seeing our campus experts in India. They held a watch party and tweeted the screenshot, which I thought was super cool. They said they were going to tune in again this morning, their time, to watch the closing. So hope you're all there, and thanks for all you do to spread GitHub in college campuses in India and around the world. I personally loved seeing Allison McMillan's incredible Codespaces demo. And I loved that she had this cool app for preschool call tracking. I want to give a huge shout out to her and all of the working parents who are doing important work, not just during nap time, but all of the time. And did you catch the rap battle? I mentioned this before, but it was absolutely awesome. I loved seeing them go head to head. And of course, humans still won, but it was fantastic. We also had an incredible Open Source for Good panel and learned about some incredible work that organizations are doing to bring people together to work against COVID. And I found that incredibly inspiring. Our team was super excited to ship discussions to the community. And I know it was really exciting for us to see all of the incredible engagement. We also have an unofficial MVP award to GitHub user at Hansa00. And I'm super sorry if I'm butchering your name. But that person was with us almost the entire day. It was incredibly helpful. And I know won a ton of fans here at GitHub. We really appreciate you and everyone who jumped in to participate in the discussions. And I don't know about you, but I think the co-hosts were one of the things that made this day so special for me. I cannot tell you how many times I laughed out loud listening to them, and their energy was just inspiring and awesome. And hats off to you all for doing pretty long stints and just being absolutely fantastic. Before I turn it over to our closing performance, the Algorithmic Positivity Symphony, that's a bit of a mouthful, I just want to remind you that all of the amazing content from today is recorded and is available to stream. You can rewind the viewer right here or watch the individual sessions and performances from the Schedule tab on GitHubSatellite.com. I know there was a ton of great content. We couldn't all take it in all at once, especially with the 2 different streams going. So I encourage you to go back and check it out. This was our first big virtual event, and I want to thank all of the people who helped pull this together. In the span of 2 months, we went from an in real life event in Paris, I'm supposed to be there right now, to a virtual event with people all over the world. And I am incredibly grateful and impressed by everyone on the production team, to all the speakers, the incredible host, and everybody who worked behind the scenes to make this event a reality. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to our sponsors who continue to support us as we transition to a virtual event. And those are Sentry, Circle CI, Ponycode, Microsoft Azure, Miro, and Instagram. And they were supportive of us, taking all the proceeds from sponsorships, as well as all the ticket sales from tomorrow's workshops, and donate them to organizations working on COVID relief. We've been so inspired to see a global community of scientists, government officials, journalists, programmers, and concerned citizens coming together to collaborate on a variety of projects on GitHub to address COVID-19. And we wanted to make sure that during Satellite, we extend the incredible privilege we have as being GitHub to the vulnerable communities that are impacted by this pandemic. So the proceeds from the sponsorship and ticket revenue will be donated to these incredible organizations. Banque Alimentaire is the largest food bank network in France and serves 2 million people per year. When we canceled Satellite in Paris, it was critical to us to get back to the people of that same community who may be facing food insecurity and poverty as a result of the pandemic. We're also giving to Food Bank for New York City, which serves the 1.5 million New Yorkers who face food insecurity. New York is the epicenter of the pandemic in the United States, and many people have been forced to rely on the Emergency Food Network for the first time. And there's the Global Food Banking Network, which is providing critical funds, shared learning, and coordination to food banks around the world during this health crisis. They work in more than 40 countries by sustaining, uniting, and strengthening the work of food banks. We're so grateful to all of these organizations and happy to be able to support them so they can continue doing their fantastic work. Finally, and most importantly, I want to thank all of you. Thank you for watching and for participating from wherever you are, and for your questions and comments in this discussions, for your enthusiasm, and for your engagement throughout the day. Thank you for being a GitHub partner or customer, and thank you for taking this journey for us. In fact, I'm so grateful that I'm going to do something incredibly against my nature. I am a bit of a neat freak, and this is making me really nervous, but I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see what happens. It could be really lame. It's not popping. Woo! You missed all of the streamers because I shot them in the wrong direction. I think that's what I get for not trialing it before, but that was going to be more cleanup. So there is now confetti all over my office in your honor. Thanks again, everybody. So be safe, stay virtually connected, and we'll see you again soon. Stick around to enjoy one final amazing performance. During this time of lockdown and isolation, Mina Marie has collected messages of positivity, hope, and strength from people around the world as part of her Earth to Abigail project. Using the power of code and algorithms, she'll join all of these voices in an algorithmic positivity symphony. I certainly can't wait to check it out. But first of all, from all of us